Hello, boys and girls. Today is April 22nd, and it is Earth Day. So, we're going to just talk about some ways that we can help our Earth. And I always tell my kids, one way that we could help our Earth is make sure that we don't litter. We want to reduce, reuse, or recycle. And I always tell them to think about it later in life. If you were to have kids of your own, what kind of playground would you want to go to? Would you want to go to a playground that's full of trash and gross? Or would you like to go to a nice clean playground where everyone can have fun and enjoy themselves? So, we're just going to do a little sorting activity, and we're going to talk about a few ways to reduce, reuse, or recycle. Okay, first of all, to reduce means to not use as much or use things that you don't really need. For instance, here's an example. This flip chart right here behind me, there is a bunch of pages on here, and I used both sides. So instead of just using one side of the paper and throwing it in the garbage, I reduced by trying to use both sides of the paper and use every square inch of the paper. And then I actually, because there's still some space left on this flip paper, but I put this up here for our activity today. Another one is reuse. If you're working on an art project or something, instead of getting a whole new piece of going out and buying all new materials, you could try to use stuff that you already have around the house. Reduce, reuse, and then recycle, obviously, is when how we do in our classroom, how we put all of our paper into the recycle bin, because that can be sent to a factory and then they could actually make it into something else. So we're going to do a little sorting activity, and I have little tubs here. This one says plastic. So we're going to identify the objects that are plastic and sort it into our plastic bin for recycling. We have paper. We're going to sort our paper products and put them in our paper recycling bin. Aluminum. Aluminum is what like soda cans, pop cans are made out of aluminum foil and stuff like that we will sort and put into our aluminum bin. And then the last one is compost. And some of you might do this at your house. It's instead of throwing away food, stuff that can decompose back into the earth, instead of throwing it away into the garbage and taking up that space in a landfill, we can start a compost pile. And it's actually really, really good for soil that you could use in a garden, because like your banana peels and apple cores, coffee grounds, all of that stuff, you can actually put it in a compost pile and it will break down, and all those minerals will go into the soil, which is really good for growing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue up my categories onto my flip chart up here. So give me a second. Vinny, can I have the glue, please? So we'll put plastic in this corner, paper in this corner. Vin, you can help me if you want.
I'll help.
Compost down here.
And the last one is aluminum.
Aluminum. Okay, so the first picture, we have is a picture of an apple core. Vinny, where do you think that would go in our sort?
I think like compost, because you can make a pile that.
Absolutely. Everything in this apple core will break down. It'll rot. That's what decomposing means, to break down or to rot, and it'll go right back into the soil. Next one, Vin.
Next one is a market plastic bag.
Okay, show them. Put it in there. And where do you think that will go?
In the plastic.
Very good. If you said plastic, you are right, because it's a plastic bag. A lot of times at Walmart, you'll see these plastic bags. And another good way to reuse and reduce is to bring your own bag.
Next, we got the banana peel.
Okay, where do you think that'll go?
I think it will go right with the apple.
Yes. Because eventually this banana peel will break down and you'll never even know it was there. It will
So perfect. What's it called? We went to Miss Darnell, my old second grade teacher in Perry.
Talk to them so they can see.
I forgot his name, but he would come in and he brought us like this science high school thing, and he shows they are doing a decompose. There's a ton of worms in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally gross, but I'm like, I guess but it's really good for the environment and Earth Day.
Yes, it is.
So,
all right, give me something else.
We got a glue bottle.
Okay, where would the glue bottle go? Think about what it's made out of, a glue bottle.
I think it would go in the plastic.
Yes, because the container is plastic. So if you clean that glue bottle out real good, because they always like it nice and clean in the recycle bin, you can recycle it. Next one.
We got paper stuff. We got flowers.
Okay, also, if you brought me home a bouquet of flowers for Mother's Day or something, and then they died, the flowers are dead now, they're no longer pretty, they don't smell good anymore, what could we do with them?
We could dump it in our garden. It could be soil.
In our
compost
pile, absolutely.
And he also sent us a video, and it's how compost got made, and it showed us how much worms got in there, and how it all just started evaporating, and how it kind of did it. I forgot really how it was a year ago, but it told us kind of how it did it, and it turned into dirt. And there was a ton of worms. Then flies would come, but then there would go more worms, but at the end there'd be the most worms, and there'd be 1,000 worms.
Yes, because at the end I think little tiny microorganisms actually break down the food, and it turns it basically back into soil.
Yeah.
Okay. Next
we got a Gatorade bottle.
And what is a Gatorade bottle made out of? Plastic. Now, a way to reduce and reuse, especially when we come to sports drinks, is what could you use, take to football or baseball or your sporting events, instead of going out and buying a Gatorade every day? What could you take with you instead?
You could.
Do you know?
Take a water bottle?
A water bottle. A water bottle that you can reuse and rewash.
Yeah.
Wash every time you use it.
Washing machine.
Next one.
No, washing machine. And then the dishwasher. Mm-hmm. We got a soda.
We have. Say we have.
We have what? A soda can.
And what are soda cans made out of?
Aluminum.
Yes, sir. Next one. We have
paper, the news.
It's called a newspaper. We don't really see them that much anymore, but before, every day, everyone would have a newspaper delivered to their house. We don't see as many of them now, but where would it go? Newspaper.
Paper.
Yes, it's made out of paper.
I think this is an easy one. We have an easy one next. Aluminum foil. It says it right there. It's aluminum.
Yes. And Mrs. Bojack uses this for cooking a lot of times. I line my cookie sheet with it. It's that real shiny, crinkly, metally looking stuff. And a lot of times I'll reuse it. If I just use the aluminum foil because I made some dinner rolls or something, I just leave that aluminum foil right on there. And then the next time I make French fries or something, I use the same aluminum foil. So I'm reducing and reusing there.
Would you wash it with water?
No, I don't.
This is a paper bag.
All right. Where do you think it goes?
Paper.
Yes. If you said paper like Vinny, you are correct. I hope you guys are doing this with us, shouting out your answers where you think they would go.
Ooh. Here we got a can of dog food.
Okay, and then so we have to open the top, the metal, the aluminum top with a can opener. Where's that going to go?
Aluminum.
Yes, I kind of told you the answer on that one.
You could have, I could have actually, I thought this was going to be, what's it called, one side recycle and one side, the other side, what's it called? Metal,
no.
Garbage. But it's a 4 thing. We got a comic book, I think.
Yes, And where do you guys think that would go?
Wait, paper.
Paper. If you said paper like Vin, you are correct. And I know a lot of ways people can reuse or reuse like newspaper, paper bags even, and comic book magazines and stuff. I know Mrs. Chance does that because she's a big science person. She wraps her gifts in this stuff to reuse it. Instead of just throwing it in the garbage can, she uses it to wrap her presents.
Next, we have a can of tuna.
A can of tuna. Where would that go?
Aluminum.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
Next, we have I have to say a paper envelope.
And where would that go?
Right there.
In paper.
We got some daisies, I think.
Yes, those are weeds. So if you were out and you were weeding your flower bed or something and you have a big pile of weeds, instead of throwing them in the trash, where could they go? You don't want them, but
compost.
They could go in your compost pile.
Compost. We got another one.
And this is our last one.
We have a yogurt
container.
Container.
Now think about yogurt, like when you eat a D-animal, whatever those little things are called. What kind of container are they in?
They're in a plastic.
They're in a plastic container. So if you said plastic, you are correct.
And here we got the Earth Day, April 2nd, 2020.
All right. And if you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit closer. Here is our sort that we did for Earth Day. All right. Thank you so much for participating in our sort. And please take care of our Earth. And we miss you very much. And we are signing off. Bye and happy Earth Day.
Peace out.